everybody used to choose him that he must go there. And he was not very keen to join it at that time, if I am not wrong. Because he had his own reservations. Once upon a time, I remember Khoja outpatient and non-Khoja outpatient, Khoja casualty and non-Khoja casualty. And he said that it has to be patient.
That's right. There were lots of anomalies that seem to have been introduced into what is basically a very genuine idea of improving conditions of life and certainly healthcare and medical education in this country.
Everybody else used to discourage me that you cannot have free treatment here, that you cannot run this ward round the clock, except Kamar Vellani, who always used to say, yes, it is possible, it is doable, continue doing it. He was the only person who supported me all the time.
Well, but I had no idea of the vision that you had that has led to this.
Always. Yeah. We never had any argument or disagreement towards the improvement of the health delivery system. We were convinced that they deserve it and they must get it.
Oh, yeah.
That was the common point we had.
That's certainly true.
Always that. And whenever, frankly speaking, we surgeons are plumbers. We know very little about the scientific background or physiological background of a disease or disorder, all those things. And so there were two people who used to come to our rescue. Sometime late Dr. Abdul Haq, he used to be there sitting and doing the thing. Otherwise, Kamar Vellani, the two will be supporting us all the time. And those were the days which were very important. They were the formative days. And had there not been support of people like you, I don't think we would have made the progress which we have made today. Constant encouragement, constant help and everything going on.
That's very kind of you to say that.
The fact dragging you from there, bringing you here, and he was always properly dressed, everything we know, that he will come properly dressed, everything, and he will stay there. Not he will take a cup of tea and will be sitting. And then once we handed over the patient to him, we could relax. He will not relax till the patient is out of wood. That was the real virtue of the man. And if really I have to say, we are very unlucky people. We have messed up with everything, good and bad, but we have destroyed our resources, which were so valuable, which could have been of great help to us, and we have just destroyed them, ignored them.
That's very true.
That is the biggest crime a nation can commit, not to utilize its potentials to make improvement, whether it is in the form of the human being or the material. And we didn't care to hoot about our, and as you said, people came here, stayed, and they had to leave the country, left away. They were good people. They were not allowed to stay here because the professor didn't like him.
Oh, yes.
Professor was God Almighty.
And if not the professor, then some politicians.
Yes, politicians and professors, everybody. Academia was divorced, I suppose. There was nothing to do with academia. And academia was only that I have got so many FRCs, so many FRCPs who are here. And there was no concept of continuing education. Am I right?
That's right.
Nothing like that.
Zero.
If I have read something 20 years ago, it has not changed, neither it is going to change. It has to stay where it was. And that's how we destroyed our academia. That's how we destroyed our manpower, which was the real potential we had. And that's why we discourage our young men not to stay back, and they left the country.
Yes, so they,
And as you said, nepotism, favoritism, politics, all that destroyed. And it has not benefited anybody.
no, it hasn't.
Today, we get the patient from all over Punjab, from Balochistan, from everywhere, for very trivial things which could be treated there, back home.
That's sad. Yes.
Could be.
There's something is wrong. There's a these are the factors that made me think that really the population, it seems, is largely incapable of thought.
Yeah.
They can't distinguish between, they go, yes, they do what others do, which means that they're following role models, but they cannot determine whether a role model is doing the right thing or the wrong thing, or they couldn't care less. They can't distinguish between this.
They're confused.
Well,
They're
confused, but then they follow, I don't know what it is. And sometimes you think, here's this person who would only vote for this particular politician,
No.
even though he knows everything about that politician's misdoings. So what would cause him to do that? How does he see this person as a role model? How does people talk a lot about Qaeda-e-Azam and so, but he was a role model, and one you'd think that people would be, would study this and would follow that train of thought, but it seems not, and can only happen if one is not prepared to question, to reason, to think, to reflect. Do I believe this? Do I not believe it? Nothing. It's a very curious situation, and my concern was that unless that changes, I don't see much hope. And the question is, where will that change? Is it the school education? I don't think so. I think it's probably before that.
Yes. The confusion has been so much. Who should be role model? Somebody from the clergy, somebody from the politicians, somebody from the academia, or somebody who is nothing but a big politician. So we have confused the whole generation.
Yes.
Confused the whole generation. Then another thing is that the worst thing to have happened to this country has happened that when I was a medical student, there was for admission there was merit and only merit, nothing else.
Right.
And even if I cannot afford to pay for my admission, if I am on merit, the government will pay me scholarship and I will be admitted. That's how I was admitted in medical school. Now we have sold pawn of everything. Self-respect, country, sugar, everything. The only thing which was left was merit. That a student, if he or she clears, she's on merit, she can walk in and claim her merit and get her position. And when that merit now has been changed for money, and a very nice name has been given, self-finance. How many people can self-finance? For example, the girls with 80 and 90% marks, they are working at physician's assistant course in SIUT. They cannot get admission in medical school because the minimum they will have to pay about 400,000. And there are two sisters, 800,000 they cannot afford to pay. So the merit, that was the worst onslaught on the society, on the progress has been to take the merit away and replace it by the self-finance. Now what happens that all the dropouts from outside the country, they come, they take admission, they take the seat, and they will go back there.
Yes.
And you're some of the best student. I would have not been doctor had there not been a merit and admission a merit.
Yeah,
And so I know quite a few friends of mine would have not become doctor or engineers. So the only thing which was left in academia was merit. And having pawned off everything, the only thing which was left was merit, and we have pawned it off as well. And we have given, now, and what we have replaced it? Oh, by self-financing, we have collected so much money, and huge buildings are there.
Oh, yes.
Can the cement and mortar replace the academia?
Nonsense.
That's the worst tragedy. And nobody is about to think. The worst thing is that you think that tragedy is happening and you know that it is something which is very tragic. But the worst thing is when you don't notice that it is a tragedy which is happening.
Oh, don't want to notice.
You don't want to know about it. And that's the worst crime which is being committed.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's no reflection. The society doesn't
Nowhere.
Which is very, very,
Now,
first of all, strange, and secondly, very stressful.
I'm arguing these days, every province is becoming more vocal than the other. I'm going to create a hospital of 5,000 bed, I'm going to create a hospital of 10,000 bed, I'm going to create a hospital. Now, come on, I will ask you simple, that if the patient is here today who needs treatment for pneumonia or for liver problem or has got perforated appendix, can he wait for 15 years a hospital to come up when he will be operated? Now, the most important thing is now, immediate.
Yes.
What have you got? And then, that's the one thing. Other thing is that are we utilizing the facilities which we have got fully? We are not. Our example is that we have got a fleet of Boeings which is on the tarmac. And we are purchasing new Boeings.
Yeah.
Where the Boeing should be in the air. Our hospital, they close at 1:30 or 2 at the most. And everything is there in the cold storage. We have got fully equipped lab, fully equipped imaging department, fully equipped operation theatre, ward, but no patient is being served there. The patient who came in the morning, he will come after 24 hours. What a waste. And the countries which are poorer than us, like United States and UK, there the theatre facilities or lab facilities, imaging, are used 24 hours. And nobody is bothered about it. I will make another hospital. That shows the myopic outlook of the planners.
Yes.
By utilize whatever you have got to the maximum. Then you can say, now I need more. You are not utilizing it. And this is the situation. I have got a data from all over the country that in every city, the big civil hospital or the teaching hospital, they shut down by 1:30.